6:48, time now for the morning rush. A New Mexico woman is facing more than 2 decades behind bars after being found guilty of child abuse resulting in death. Kelly Smith's 12-year-old grandson, Brent Sullivan, died of a fentanyl overdose in 2021. Smith and her daughter, Alexis, who was the boy's mom, were both arrested and charged. Smith is now facing up to 21 years in prison.
The Navajo Police Department is asking for help to identify a woman recently found dead in northwest New Mexico. On Friday evening, police say that they were called to the intersection of U.S. Highway 491 and Road 9723 in Sheep Springs. That's where they found a woman dead on the shoulder of the highway. Anyone with information is asked to call the Shiprock District of the Navajo Police.
We're working to learn more about a deadly shooting in southwest Albuquerque. Details are limited, but we know officers were called to the Circle K gas station on 98th, just north of Central, around 10 o'clock last night. According to APD, a security guard shot one person. That person died from their injuries. Ryan.
Near record heat for many possible today as temperatures will be skyrocketing in the 90s and triple digits for Albuquerque into the south. Now, there will be more storms in northern and western areas, preluding to a weather pattern change. Not as hot later this week.
CYFD is now opening a group home that is to deal with the problem of foster children sleeping in an office. According to CYFD, the feds will not provide any financial support for the group home, saying that it will put teens at greater risk of being homeless, in jail, or addicted to drugs. CYFD has set aside $17 million for the facility, which they say about 6 children have already stayed in for an average of 3 to 4 weeks.
An amendment to lower Albuquerque's minimum wage for tipped workers has been withdrawn. A recent proposal to match the city's minimum wage to the state was met with an amendment to also match the tipped wage, lowering it to $3 an hour. After members of the community spoke out against it, councilors elected not to move forward with the bill.
New Mexico United will be moving forward with their plans to build a stadium at Balloon Fiesta Park. This comes after Albuquerque city councilors approved that proposal last night. United will spend at least $30 million to build the facility. The appeal passed on an 8-1 vote. Ryan.
And heat advisories in effect for the Albuquerque Metro and for Chavez County, up to 100 near Albuquerque, up to 105 near Roswell. Now, not quite as hot in northern areas because of the slight chance of storms. And eventually those storms will dampen temperatures later this week.
State officials are clearing things up around newly built homes in New Mexico and EV chargers. All new developments must follow the state's energy efficiency codes, which include new rules for electric vehicles. New homes need to be fitted with circuit breakers that are able to support a charger, which is a minimal cost to the builder.
Xcel Energy has issued an energy alert for southeast New Mexico, saying that an urgent reduction in power is needed. That's to maintain the electrical system and provide service to all of its customers. The company is recommending for affected residents to turn off lights when not in use, appliances and air conditioners unless needed for health reasons. The counties impacted are Lee, Curry, Debaca, Guadalupe, Harding, Quay, San Miguel, and Roosevelt.
The Blue Hole in Santa Rosa will be reopening for divers. The tourist hotspot was closed after an underwater boulder broke off and reduced water flow. At the end of July, it was reopened for swimmers to enjoy. Now, scuba and free divers will be allowed access again starting next Friday, August 30th. Ryan.
And taking a look at traffic right now, mostly smooth sailing across the board, no major accidents or slowdowns. And taking a live look right now at the Big I, we do notice I-40 East starting to back up just a little bit. We'll keep you updated on that.
Thousands of spectators showed up at a racetrack that is south of Seattle, Washington to watch children and adults put on T-Rex costumes and run a 100-meter dash. Approximately 200 people took part in what's being called the T-Rex World Championship races. The annual race started back in 2017 as a pest control company's team building activity.
And it's time now for the 5 facts.
At number 5, state officials are clearing things up around newly built homes in New Mexico and EV chargers. All new developments must follow the state's energy efficiency codes, which include new rules for electric vehicles. That does not mean that you are required to put an EV charger in your home. New homes need to be fitted with circuit breakers that are able to support a charger, which is a minimal cost to the builder, and those developers are allowed to file for a rebate that will then help refund those costs.
At number 4, downtown Albuquerque will soon be getting some more bike lanes, but some business owners, they are concerned about how that'll impact the area. Well, those bike lanes could be 5 feet wide on each side of the street with a 2-foot buffer from traffic. The changes will impact Central from 1st Street to 8th. With the middle lane planned to be taken away. While some business owners in the area are concerned about losing that lane, which is often used by delivery drivers. City says that they are looking to add more loading zones and use more alleys for the deliveries. They are hoping to start work on the lanes by November.
And at number 3, more chances of rain in northern areas, but most areas sunny and hot. And near record-breaking heat near Albuquerque and Roswell. Heat advisories for those areas. More chances for rain again in the northern and western areas today. And with more rain ahead becoming more widespread, temperatures will eventually drop ahead.
At number 2, CYFD is opening a group home to deal with an ongoing problem of foster children sleeping in an office building. The news comes despite the fact that the feds have said that they will not provide any financial support for the home. According to CYFD, the feds oppose group homes, saying that they put foster teens at greater risk of being homeless, in jail, or addicted to drugs. CYFD has set aside $17 million to pay for what they call the multi-service foster home, which they say 6 children have already stayed in for an average of 3 to 4 weeks. So far, CYFD has used less than half of the $17 million on hand for the group home.
And at number 1, a New Mexico woman is facing more than 2 decades in prison after being convicted of child abuse resulting in death following her grandson's overdose. Kelly Smith's 12-year-old grandson, Brent Sullivan, died of a fentanyl overdose in 2021. Smith, along with her daughter Alexis, the boy's mom, were both arrested and charged. Smith was found guilty of intentional child abuse resulting in death. She's now facing up to 21 years behind bars.